Tonight, 6 people, including teenagers, they're facing charges after a local mother was shot in her car. 40-year-old Larisha Thompson was shot and killed in her car off Riverside Road in Lancaster. The sheriff's office says the people arrested are tied to another crime as well, and because of their immigration status, they also now face deportation. WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is in Lancaster with the latest developments.
6 people, including 4 teenagers, are behind bars facing multiple charges. They say that group shot and killed 40-year-old Larisha Thompson.
Somebody lost their mom, their sister, aunt, mother. Just a tragedy. This person is out doing the same thing you and I do, just driving down the road, minding their own business.
Say it with your chest.
Welcome to the Chesley Major channel, Chesley Major Media. I'm your host, Chesley Major, and we about to get into it in a major way. Let's go. All right, okay, good day. What's going on, fam? Welcome to Chesley Major Media. I'm going to discuss a story that a lot of people aren't discussing online for some reason. It's about Larisha Thomas. She lost her life to 6 illegal migrants in the country illegally. Now, the people that took her life were kids. The youngest was 13 and 14, while the others were something like 16, 17, 18. This one here was the 18-year-old ringmaster, ringleader. So he supposedly is the one that came up with this dumbass master plan. Sadly, Larisha Thomas was the victim. She was taken out by these illegal migrants, and they didn't even get anything. They didn't even get the car. Nevertheless, they all are illegal. They shouldn't be here. And this is why people are complaining about illegal migrants in this country. And their paperwork isn't right, and people don't even know who they are. But let's dive into it.
We have 6 individuals in our community, for number 1, wasn't supposed to be here. And 2, took the life of an innocent lady. Was out here trying to get something for nothing.
A group of young men and boys, one of whom is only 13 years old, face charges now in a woman's murder tonight. Authorities say 40-year-old Larisha Thompson was found shot to death inside her car in Lancaster County. Today, the sheriff's office shared more information about how this happened and how her death is linked to a second crime. So, Rachel, what do we know about these 6 people who've been charged?
Well, like you said, the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office has said that those 6 suspects range in age from 13 years old to 21 years old. And authorities have also said that the 17-year-old will be charged as an adult. All of them are facing murder charges and burglary charges. And the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office says that the 2 crimes that you just mentioned are connected. On April 30th, Lancaster County Sheriff's deputies were sent to investigate a burglary at the Van Wyck Mark on Rock Hill Highway.
Found a door on the northwest side of the building that had been forced open. They also discovered a security camera at the location that had been shot.
On May 2nd, 40-year-old Larisha Thompson was found dead in her car on Riverside Road.
Deputies responded and discovered Larisha Thompson was deceased from an apparent gunshot wound.
Sheriff Barry Vail explains that ballistics from both scenes found the same 9mm handgun was used in both crimes. Thursday, law enforcement served a search warrant at 21-year-old Asael Amidadas Torres Chirino's home. They found the 9mm they say is linked to the crimes. He was arrested and questioned along with 5 more.
It was determined that all 6 of these individuals were involved in the burglary and the murder of Miss Thompson.
Torres Chirinos, 18-year-old Arden Ramos Adari, 17-year-old Jason Sobaid Pinada Salgado are facing murder, attempted armed robbery, and burglary charges.
The sheriff says Thompson was driving down Riverside Road on her way to meet friends when the group tried to rob her. He says 21-year-old Azael Torres Chirinos is the one who pulled the trigger, hitting Thompson, leaving her for dead in her car. Officials say none of the suspects are in the country legally and should not have had the gun.
They took the life of an innocent young lady, didn't have the right to be here, much less commit these crimes here.
Detainers have been placed on all 6, so if any of them were to become eligible for release, they would be taken into ICE custody.
See, first of all, this was a senseless crime perpetrated by some savages. And I mean, they don't even have green cards, citizenship, TPS, just damn illegal. Paperwork ain't right. They break it into gas stations just trying to salvage whatever they could. They couldn't get nothing out of there, so they stumbled upon this lady. Minding her business, ain't bothering nobody, decided to pull an armed robbery and took this woman's life. Bragged about it in text about what they did, like some savages that they are. Now here's the kicker. They could be released and then deported back to their country, only to fly back or take the boat back to this country with new names and enter again illegally. Something that you and me as citizens can't do. And that just makes no damn sense to me. And that's why Americans are fed up with this. These people need to be deported after they do their time, only to never be able to come back into this country. See, there are illegal immigrants that have been deported, came back, deported, came back, deported, and are here now. They will stop at nothing to be on American soil. Now let me go to Mexico, Venezuela, the Caribbean, whatever have you, commit a heinous crime like this and think I'm going to make it out alive. No, sir. It ain't happening like that. It don't work like that. Only in America. But I want to say rest in peace to Miss Thomas. She did not deserve to be taken out like this. Minding her own business, going about her day, just making it in life, only to be taken out by some people who aren't even citizens of this country. Here illegally, brought by their parents illegally. They trekked through the desert, through the jungle to get here, only to commit crimes. And you should have saw their parents in court. I mean, their mammy was in there boo-hoo crying. Ah, mijo. Just boo-hoo, tears falling everywhere, as if these kids were innocent. Like I mentioned once before, a lot of these people come over here just to steal and be misfits. Not all, but some. And you'd think they'd get here and be a grade A model citizen. But no, they over here wreaking havoc in someone else's country. And then you got Democrats like Judge Hannah Dugan sneaking them out the back door for crimes committed. You got Democrats at the ICE detention center fighting and throwing bowls over them. These same people wouldn't lift a hand for Black Americans. And we built this country. We put this country on our back and been carrying it for the longest, only to be sideswiped by illegals and people who don't even have their hearts, mind, spirit, blood, sweat, and tears invested in this country. Rest in power to this young lady. And in more illegal migrant news,
I will vote for Donald Trump. Let's go! Latino for Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump.
On a recent visit to Miami's Little Havana neighborhood, we found conversation about temporary protected status heating up.
You think it's bad for them to remove the status, pero sigues con tu apoyo al presidente. You still approve President Trump. So you continue to support the president. This is iconic Domino Park, where many Cuban Americans come to enjoy their favorite pastime, playing dominoes. And in between games, some have told us that they agree with President Trump on temporary protected status, or TPS, allows immigrants from countries in turmoil to legally stay and work in the U.S. for 18 months or more. A Biden-era policy known as humanitarian parole does the same. Trump vows to end both, leaving hundreds of thousands of people in limbo and facing deportation. In South Florida, that includes Cubans, Nicaraguans, Haitians, and Venezuelans.
It was President Biden in 2021 who made Venezuelans who fled the economic and political crisis in their homeland eligible for TPS. The Trump administration says TPS and humanitarian parole have become back channels for immigrants to stay longer than necessary, and questioned the Biden administration's vetting of recipients. In Doral, Florida, 40% of the population is estimated to have ties to Venezuela.
What happens if they have to go?
The city's not going to be the same.
You damn right it's not going to be the same. I see way less electric scooters everywhere, less people walking around looking like vagabonds with backpacks on, way less immigrants flying their country's flags in their rearview mirror, and a whole lot more blacks working.
An undocumented woman living here in South Florida is being told that she has to pay nearly $2 million for failing to leave the country.
Now this right here is a wild story. You mean to tell me you've been in this country 20 years and ain't got your paperwork right? Check this out.
Mother of 3 was given 30 days to pay.
Mother of 3 teenagers has told me that she chose to share her story and show her face because she wants people to know that she's not a criminal. Now,
wait a minute. Somebody please tell this lady. Give her the news already. Newsflash, ma'am. You are a criminal. You've been in this country ducking and diving, shucking and jiving over 20 years. That's why you're almost $2 million.
She wants the whole country to know why she's mother has been fined $500 a day for overstaying in the U.S. since 2005.
Now that's something simple a blind man could see. You came over here temporarily and decided I'm going to stay. And you've been hiding out and moving about. Now look.
And that's not all. We just talked to her a few minutes ago, and this is what this mom told us. Ever since that day, I live with anxiety. I can't sleep. I don't feel well.
I'm sorry, but ma'am, you should have been had anxiety. When you decided you wasn't going to go down there your court date, we call that a warrant in America.
This woman, who we will call Maria, says she did not want to use her real name, concerned she could be targeted.
Hell, you damn right, Maria, you're going to be targeted. You overstayed your welcome, and now you aren't welcome. Man, Ice, y'all come on, come pick Maria up. She down there in La Havana somewhere.
But she does want people to know her story. She told us, I don't want to go back. She's a mother of 3 children who are American citizens. She asked us not to show them.
Wow. So all this time on the lam, Maria done made 3 kids. And ain't had time to get her stuff together, but had time to lay up and have 3 kids. And now you want people to feel sorry for you because it's time to go home. No, ma'am.
Maria arrived from Honduras in February of 2005. 2 months later, she had an order to leave the country after not appearing at a hearing, but she never left. I asked her why she did not go to the hearing. I told the immigration officer I don't have any family in this country or a specific place to stay. She told me she entered the U.S. through California. I never received any document, and they did not know where I was going to be.
Now, see, Maria would have you think she didn't have anywhere to stay permanently, like she say, like Hector wasn't putting her up. But you made 3 kids, ma'am. So where was the kids staying? Of course you didn't get any mail. You was too busy ducking and diving.
I received this letter at her house in South Florida. She has been fined for more than $1.82 million.
It says that the government could fine an individual, an undocumented individual, daily $500.
The 1952 Act has historically rarely been enforced, but in February, the Trump administration announced it will penalize people living in the U.S. illegally under that act.
What she has is an order of removal in her absence.
Is that still accumulating even today?
Yes.
So that figure is increasing.
It could increase. For me, that is absolutely nuts.
Sanchez filed a motion to reopen her client's case last year under a policy of the Biden administration, giving ICE attorneys the discretion to reopen cases and lift removal orders. Have you ever been arrested?
You about to be.
When I asked her if she would voluntarily return to her home country, it would be extremely painful to be separated from my children. This is their country. This is all they know. Please have mercy. I want to stay with them.
Well, Tom Homan and Stephen Miller say they got tickets for the kids, too. Y'all all can go together.
Supreme Court giving the Trump administration the green light to terminate temporary protected status for about 350,000 Venezuelans. That means no more protection from deportation and allowing them to work legally in the U.S. Lawyers representing the government argue a lower court decision undermined the executive branch and its authority over immigration and foreign affairs, and the conservative majority on the court agreed.
Raise your hand, come on! Donald Trump! Dale cintura, 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 cintura! I will vote for Donald Trump!
Look, that's exactly what 350,000 Venezuelans are asking themselves right at this moment. They're asking whether or not am I still here in this country legally, and perhaps most importantly for their families, am I still able to work legally in this country and provide for my family? They don't know. We got to remember that on the way out the door, the Biden administration chose to extend TPS protections for Venezuelans. When the Trump administration came into office, they eliminated that extension. That meant suddenly that hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans who thought they were going to be protected from deportation, who thought that they were going to be able to work legally in this country until October 2026, some of them lost their status in April. Others are set to lose their status in September. Right now, I'm sure they're wondering what exactly comes next.
So you had a chance to speak with a lawyer representing TPS holders in the case. What did they tell you?
And look, this is moving on so quickly. We're actually expecting to hear from the lawyers any minute now in a press conference. I did speak with one of the main litigators representing TPS holders in this case, and here's what he said. I thought this was a very stunning quote. He said, this is the largest single action stripping any group of non-citizens of immigration status in modern U.S. history. That the Supreme Court authorized this action in a 2-paragraph order with no reasoning is truly shocking. And I think we have to remember also that not only is TPS Venezuela on the line, TPS Haiti, Cameroon, and other countries are sure to follow.
Send them all home. They all can go back. Your paperwork ain't right? Come on now, you got to catch this flight. And Stephen Miller and Trump say they're going to put $1,000 in your pocket. Otherwise, trouble coming your way.
So these protections, they're over. So what comes next? Can they still appeal, or are deportations coming now?
So this is major implications for them. They're wondering if the Trump administration can, on a whim, abruptly end protections for Venezuelans. What does that mean for me?
Now, from the jump, you knew you had 18 months to get over here and work, get you some money together, and get back to wherever you was from. This was called TPS. It's not PPS, permanent protection status, but TPS, temporary protective status. That's all it was, plain and simple. Not protected to stay in this country, get a green card and citizenship. Now, you're just wearing out your welcome at this point. It's time to go home. The economy and the people, the citizens here, we can't foot the bill no more. We can't pay the tab. Especially with this new big, beautiful bill. He finna smash the middle class and the lower class, and the upper class, hey, they getting all the tax cuts. And you got at least 3 more years of the orange man going ham in the White House. Keep your head on the swivel. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.